My feelings never show. Don't know how to sing. I reckon you're getting bored. I reckon you'll see the wave. You're stepping into the dock. What? Part of it, brother, you saying what? You reckon that you're a can't breathe anywhere to the heart to my neck.
DBTV episode 3.
I tell her about the relax. What? I tell her about the relax. Cause the UK scene's gone cold for a minute, but please don't worry, I'm bringing the heat back. So blood. I tell her about the relax. What? I tell her about the relax.
Yes, everyone. The guests are getting bigger. The articles are getting deeper. The views are staying exactly the same.
Bruh.
I can't wait to talk to him. I can't wait to get him on the show. It was only a matter of time before GeoBlu and Doing Bits linked up. So a warm welcome to GeoBlu in the building! So talk to me, man. How have you been?
Obviously, don't watch my trim. First of all, actually, quarantine's actually done well for me because, and I feel bad to say that because obviously a lot of people are in a really bad position. I just started doing loads of interviews. I've made a lot of music. I've been seeing this girl.
Hey!
It's been good for me. Yeah, like this kind of time can really make or break you. Like most people I know are doing piss all. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's important. It's important to stay active because it's always possible. It's always possible to stay active. And I rate you as well. What you're doing as well.
Going back to you, I'm loving the tunes. I'm loving Drains. I think the first time I heard of you musically was about a year ago when you dropped Relax. In one of the verses, one of your bars was about people taking like American flow. Do you find that as a rapper, at that time, do you think that was like a thing that kept cropping up?
I love that question. Actually, I feel like since then I've completely changed my mentality towards that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know why I said that. I was more passionate about grime, I would say, then than I am now.
Growing up in Golders Green, were there any singular artists that inspired you to get into music?
Similarly to you, I was looking from the outside for a long time as well. That built up in me like a certain hunger.
Who inspired you then?
It's so weird being interviewed myself because it actually puts you on the spot. Pretty classically, it was Eminem when I was like 12. I made rock songs. No, I mean they were obviously like they weren't good. You know what I mean? But I was always good at writing, and then at one point it just made sense for it to go towards rap. No matter the stereotypes around it, it's poetry really.
Obviously, you got songs with Lingard, a Kamikaze tune, Bang Oh, You Would Want to Be Trapper.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, we mentioned Relax and Drained, Repeat, This Generation. Like, you've got a portfolio of absolute mayhem tracks, and they're sick. But all of them are quite fast paced. Have you always been like focused on the grime thing, or did you ever want to come away and do like more like jazzy feels or more like bouncy rhythm?
I think that predominantly I've been making grime music. I really rate how you did your research as well, bro. I really respect that. It's gone full circle though, because recently I've just discovered that there's just a massive world beyond grime. Like, I don't really know the path I'm going to take right now. I could carry on doing grime, and like I know factually, if I carry on doing grime, it will do numbers, like it will do well. But right now, I'm feeling more inclined towards like punk rock and stuff.
When did you kind of think to yourself, like, you know what, I'm actually sick of this, like, let me go into a studio and just like enhance what I've already created from my laptop on GarageBand?
That's another thing that quarantine's taught me, and I think it's taught a lot of people that you can be so much more self-maintaining than you actually thought you could be. There was definitely a turning point when I was 14 when I made that grime song, which was actually my first good song.
What was that sensation like, going into the studio for the first time?
It was just such a good feeling. I just felt like being like, Mum, I'm a rapper now.
Mum, I made it. How do you go about working with producers?
I've been doing all types of music though recently with different people. So actually, me and Swick, Danny, have got like 20 unreleased tunes.
I'm excited now.
Thank you, bro.
I've got the inner scope. How did you go about doing a tune with Kamikaze?
Because he was working with Swick, and he was in the studio. And then Kamikaze he sent me a message being like, Swick just showed me what some of your unreleased tunes, and one of them was Lingo. And he was like, you're hard. I was just doing homework in a cafe. I just went there, I just rushed there, and I got there, and it was so surreal as well, because obviously I'd known Kamikaze. He's a legend. Like, he was just there, and then he just did his verse in like half an hour.
And then them coming to you like, yeah, you're hard, let's make a track. Like, what was that like?
That was 100% a turning point for me, definitely.
Yeah.
When you get ratings from someone that you idolize, whoa, that's mad. It almost feels like I didn't deserve it.
So, Don't Flop.
Yes.
Like, me and my mates, we used to always bang out Don't Flop, man. This is a mad conversation. How did that link up work?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I literally, I don't know if you've watched it. I actually got spun. The battle rap attracts the weirdest people. Battle rap fans and battle rap, like, I love I love Don't Flop, but a lot of them tend to be, like, the breed of people it attracts is just... I got spun. I actually got spun because I remember I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna murk this guy, yeah, no problem. Actually, I've recently challenged the guy that I battled on Don't Flop on 8 Ball. He hasn't replied yet. On 8 Ball pool. I was on the stage and I just forgot my lyrics. Clashing and performing is literally a whole different ballpark. Also, it taught me a lot, you know, because people listening to the Clash, yeah, they're not gonna listen to complex lyrics, because he was doing very simple lyrics. Like,
so was it pre-written, or was it you had a plan and like, this is exactly what I'm going to say on this verse?
yeah, I had a plan. Yeah.
Gets like that.
It does, but I'm not a battle rapper. It's more important for me to make music. I'm glad I did it, you know what I mean?
Confidence-wise, has that helped you then go on to do well when you're doing live performances in front of other people, doing your own tunes?
A little bit, but not
Yeah.
not much. I mean, what it did teach me is that people do respond more to simple lyrics. I love performing so much. It's one of my favorite things about doing music. When you're performing, it's like you're doing all of this like people don't really care. But if you come with like these hooks, like for example, my hook for repeat is keep it on the low. You can't get in my feelings, because my feelings never show. Like, people can actually sing along, and
I find
that's important.
That's similar with Drained as well.
I had a residency at Maps Cafe, so I've held like 10 events there. I had a radio show on Itch FM as well every week. I love cypher. I mean, for example, with the Big TV cypher, because that one was a very old school grime cypher. I just remember thinking, like, this is like an actual old school grime energy here. The other cypher was so funny because it was just the funniest group of people. Yeah. I had my boy Sarok, yeah. He's never been on a cypher before. He makes like emo rap music, yeah. You had the other guys rapping about being on crud and being on road. Then I went on next year and I'm rapping about people rapping about being on crud. Yeah. And lying about it, yeah. Then you've got Sarok, yeah. And one of his bars, he said, yeah, I'm gonna suck on your girl's toes. It was just so jokes.
I bet the others were looking at him like.
Shouts to him though.
Yeah, big up him though. No, well done to him. We spoke about how you're quite a lyrical guy, but in your opinion, which is one of the hardest lines that you've made? One of your hardest bars?
I think the realest lyrics I've ever written are in whispering. It's like the world is leaning on me. I'm staying blocked to my conscience, like I don't need to worry. Like, do you know what I mean? I just, yeah, it was just real.
All day, baby. What makes someone a better rapper or a better artist?
What mattered most to me before was lyrics. Very recently, I've become much more fascinated with melody, and I've become like, I've been listening to a lot of American rap to contradict my lyrics before and relax. Now it's more about the whole vibe to me. I think it takes a special skill to be able to not be lyrical and make it a vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like just to rhyme monosyllabically, to make it good is hard.
Your B-Day bash, that looked absolutely fantastic. Like the energy,
thank you, bro.
The vibe, the people, everyone was just die-hard rock stars for your music. Like, what was that like?
Such a good feeling, honestly. Like, to have people singing along is crazy. I love that. I love that so much. You're the one creating the energy. Do you know what I mean? You've got to bring people out of their shells, because people do have the tendency to be stush. That's why I love my residency at Maps, because it feels like people actually go there because they know their music if they're going there. Do you know what I mean? So people aren't stush. In my school, there was this amazing teacher, yeah, she's a music teacher, amazing woman. She noticed that I made music and she kind of contacted me, and at the beginning, and she wanted to like form a like collective with a band and stuff, and And at the beginning, I was like, nah, like this is so moist. She gave me so many opportunities. It's actually indirectly all because of her. The reason why like I've got where I am. Her name's Miss Rivlin.
Shout out Miss Rivlin. Big up Miss Rivlin.
Massive shouts to her. Massive shouts. If we can deal with like performing in environments like that, you can do anything really. I mean, the way to deal with it is just to pretend that like they're not there. It's good to get a bit nervous before something, because I feel like the nervousness kind of, I don't get that nervous, but just a little bit. Like I get a lot of adrenaline and just walk around and just chain smoke and like, I don't know.
Now, are there points where you get doubts about releasing music?
I think anyone that steps out and is creative or does anything or puts themselves out there in any way is going to experience that 100%. I mean, have you?
Therefore, I have doubts like, do I really want to put myself on YouTube? Like, do I really want to be doing this? But at the same time, it's like we're now in an age where social media and creativity aren't seen as lesser than being corporate. Of course, I had doubts because it was different, but I've never actually been like, you know what? I'm not doing bits, so I can't call my thing doing bits. I've gassed myself up and I've just been confident with it.
If someone is taking the time out of their day to slag me off, then thank you. I've got like calls before. There was this guy from my old school. He was always like crazy. He called me and he was like, "Want to be trapper?" She's like, "Okay."
What else?
But he had nothing to say. It's like they're drowning in negativity to like bring someone down with you. Do you know what I mean?
I saw you were you had like a shoot with GQ.
I think it just looks a bit more mad than it actually is because
don't talk it down. Don't talk it down.
no, but it's not even to do with my music or anything. I'm with an agency called Revolt.
Okay.
It's nice to get some cool pictures. Yeah, the fashion industry is so annoying. We've got this job for you, like, and I'll be like, cool. And I say I'm like 5'8" or 5'9", whatever. And then they just don't reply.
I'll wear Timberlands. I'll stick on some Jordans. It's calm. I think you started putting out videos just as I recorded my first one.
So the story behind that is I was doing work for Black Butter. Just for people who don't know, so they're a label under Sony and they do Octavian, J Hus, J5, K-Trap, Bakar. So I was just doing like footwork for him. So I was just doing all kinds of stuff. I was just sending in people I knew, having these people, and he liked them. But Black Butter itself wasn't fully sold on them. Like, let's start a brand underneath. So we're putting together releases, and I'm doing a lot of interviews. I'm working out the best way to do the interviews. I've got a very clear vision of where I want it to go as well. We've just put a release together with Sarok. He's amazing, man. But put together a release with him. It's called Double Curse. The whole thing with music is that it's led me to meet people that I love. I do act like a fanboy when I'm interviewing them sometimes. I am a fanboy of Kamikaze, so...
Where do you see yourself, say, in the next 5 years?
I'm not 100% sure where my own music is going to go. Hopefully by then, Bonsai will be big. But I feel like there's a massive gap for, like, alternative, melodic, emo rap, like, music that actually is exciting.
Who have you got in mind that you would like to work with in the future?
I would love to work with novelists. I'm happy working with the people around me. I would say like Octavian, Bakar, Slow Tie.
What would be your dream venues to perform at?
I just want to perform it anywhere, man. I just want to just perform now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it'd just be cool to just perform at a house party.
Yay!
No. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. I just want to, like, just a DIY little, you know.
Take it back to basics. Like, favourite brand?
Bonsai.
Trainer?
What's it called? Up Tempos.
Best event that you've been to?
My birthday bash.
Favourite artist?
Lil Tracy.
What is your go-to one-stop drink?
Fanta. What's the flavour? Lucozade. Pink lemonade, Lucozade.
Alright, niche. Wagamama's or Nando's?
Nando's, yeah.
Like, hot.
Yeah.
FIFA or Warzone?
FIFA.
How do we end coronavirus?
Going out as much as possible.
Do after COVID-19?
Press your girl.
Weirdest fact about you?
I've got dead trim right now.
Save the tune. Celebrity crush?
Claro.
What genre of music will people never see GeoBlu on?
German trance. You'll never see me on a house song. Actually, you never know. You never. Maybe.
I'll say, man. Come on.
No. Do you know what you'll never see me on? I forgot what it's called.
How long till you sell out the O2?
Give me a year. No, give me 2 years. 2 years.
Dave or AJ Tracy?
Dave.
Who is the worst rapper?
The worst rapper. The worst and best rapper is Terminator.
Who killed Tupac?
Do you know what killed my Tupac? Too much pink lemonade, mate.
Model, rapper, comedian. What do you miss more? Girls or your barber?
I'm gonna say my barber. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. Sick interview, man.
Yeah, it's been great chatting to you. Excited to see where Bonsai goes. Thank you for coming on again. Carry on washing your hands. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Be blessed. And carry on doing your thing.
You can't get my feelings, cause my feelings never show. What? Don't know how to speak. Hands to under my eyes if I get this bag and never peace.
Good morning, this is the Breakfast Club.
Relax. What? I tell her about a relapse. Cause the UK scene's gone cold for a minute, but please don't worry, I'm bringing the heat back. So blood, I tell her about a relax. What? I tell her about a relapse.